Hello, students. I wish you all a pleasant morning, noon, and evening. I hope you are all safe from the epidemic COVID 19 following the rules of lockdown 3. With this message, let me start the fifth video on the topic development. This video is the continuation of the chapter 1 from economics. In this video, we will learn how important the income and the other criteria for a state to be developed. Income and other criteria. Children, we may live in any state of our country. We always appreciate our culture and heritage, and we are aware of different activities that are going on in our states. We don't want anyone to put down our state policies and developmental goals. It is only because we are all part of it. In the last video, we have learned how to measure the income of a nation. Thereafter, we compared the average national income in dollar to know whether our country is developed, developing or underdeveloping. In this video, we are going to learn about the developmental aspects of different states in our country. If you remember, in class 9th, you have studied a chapter called Poverty as a Challenge. In that lesson, we studied and compared different states' poverty estimation and came to know that which state in India is poor or rich. So, to know which state is developed or developing in India, we have to take some criteria along with the state per capita income. Hence, in this video, I am going to explain the income and the other criteria which are used to decide a state's developmental goals and status. Students, when we looked at individual aspirations and goals, we found that people not only think of a better income but also have goals such as security, respect for others, equal treatment, freedom, etc. in mind. Similarly, when we think of a nation or a region or a state, we may, besides average income, think of other equally important attributes and the criteria. What could be the attributes and the criteria? It is the per capita income that are the first attribute or the criteria. So here you can see in the table per capita income of 3 Indian states are mentioned here, and this is the earning of a person in the year 2012 and 13. This table gives the per capita income of Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar. Actually, these figures are of per capita net state domestic product at current prices for 2012 and 13. So we find that of the 3 states, Maharashtra has the highest per capita income and Bihar is at the bottom. This means that on an average, a person in Maharashtra earned rupees 1,07,670 in a year, whereas on an average, a person in Bihar earned only around rupees 28,774 in the same year. You can see vast difference between the two persons earning in Maharashtra and Bihar. So, if per capita income were to be used as the measure of development, then it is decided that Maharashtra would be considered the most developed and Bihar the least developed states of the three. To know whether it is true, we have table 1.4 with some other criteria that are supposed to be noted down for the development of a state. This is table 1.3 per capita income of selected three states. We have already learnt in the last slide. Maharashtra is with the highest income earned by a person in the year 2012 and 13. At the same time, a person in Bihar earned only 28,774 rupees only. So now let us look at certain other data pertaining to these states given in table 1.4. Along with the per capita income, the other criteria are also very important. So some comparative data on Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar are given here. The states are mentioned here: Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar. So the first criteria is taken as infant mortality rate per 1000 live births in the year 2012. What is infant mortality rate? Infant mortality rate, that means IMR, indicates the number of children that die before the age of 1 year as a proportion of 1000 live children born in that particular year. So here you can see in Maharashtra, out of 1000 children, 25 children died in the year 2012. So that means with the population you can count with. Per 1000, 25 children died in Maharashtra in the year 2012. At the same time in Kerala, in the same year 2012, in Kerala only 12 children died out of 1000 children. So there is a much difference. That is the in Maharashtra it is more than the double of Kerala. Bihar, if we take the example of Bihar in 43 children died in the year 2012 out of 1000 live births. So then other criteria that was seen was literacy rate in the year 2011. So in the year 2011, the literacy rate of Maharashtra was 82 percentage, and the literacy rate of Kerala was 94 percentage, and the literacy rate of Bihar was 62 percentage only. So that means you can see the vast difference between Maharashtra, Kerala and Bihar in the literacy rate. The first we have seen the infant mortality rate, that is how many children die in a year out of 1000 live births. Now again the third criteria was considered in the year 2009 and 10, the net attendance ratio. What is net attendance ratio? Net attendance ratio is the total number of children of age group 14 and 15 years attending school as a percentage of total number of children in the same age group. So that means here you can see in Maharashtra 64 children out of 100 children went to school, and rest 36 children were dropouts. They were not going to school in the year 2009 and 10. And in Kerala, 78 students were going. That means more than 64, more than Maharashtra. In Kerala, 78 children out of 100 were going to school. So that means only 22 were not going to school, and they were considered as dropouts. And in Bihar, 35 children only going to school. Rest 65 were not going to school at all in the year 2009 and 10. So you can see the comparison made based on some data collected in the year 2012, 2011 and 2009 and 10. So we need to think. So income, is it income alone measures a state to be called developed or rich? So the first column of the table shows that in Kerala, out of 1,000 children born, 12 died before completing 1 year of age. But in Maharashtra, the proportion of children dying within 1 year of birth is 25, which is more than double. We have already studied. On the other hand, the per capita income of Maharashtra is more than that of Kerala, as shown in table 1.3. So the problem does not end with infant mortality rate. The last column of the table shows around two-thirds of children aged 14 to 15 in Bihar are not attending school beyond class 8. So that means you can think that how lucky we are all that we are getting all the facilities to go to school and be educated in the schools. So, how is it that the average person in Maharashtra has more income than the average person in Kerala, but lags behind all these crucial areas, all these criterias. So the reason is that money in anybody's pocket cannot buy all the goods and services that a person need to live well. For example, normally your money cannot buy you a pollution free environment or ensure that you get unadulterated medicines unless you can afford to shift to a community that already has all these things. Money may also not be able to protect you from infectious diseases unless the whole of your community takes preventive steps. So that is what the countries are doing right now. Money may also not be able to protect you from the contagious diseases. Money is not able now. The even USA has bent before coronavirus, richest country in the world, also facing this problem. So that means money cannot give all the comfort unless the whole of your community takes preventive steps. So unless we take preventive steps, we cannot save the life of the people. Whereas in India, we are ahead of other countries in the world in protecting and saving the life of the people from this epidemic disease coronavirus. This is the points for your reference, and this is the table. You can compare this table, and there are definitions given for some of the important terms, so you can study for yourselves. So that's all. Do this in your copy, this activity.